Clara from AcuPro Academy. I'm so glad you're here. This course is all about the foundation of Chinese medicine, specifically the Yin Yang Theory made easy. Because my goal is to empower you to achieve superior patient care and grow a successful practice while having fun. Because after all, I know you are a TCM rock star. And no matter what, if you need to review your foundation or check it again, this is the course to do so. So enjoy this course and don't forget, keep rocking it using TCM. The Yin Yang theory in Chinese medicine is probably the single most important theory. It is the foundation for everything, including physiology, pathology, and treatment in TCM. You look at the symbol, the Tai Ji symbol, which is translated loosely by the supreme ultimate. This yin yang symbol we used to see everywhere really represents what the yin yang theory is about. You can see the little dot in either color, and that's because there's always a seed of yin within yang and a seed of yang within yin. They are obviously opposites, right? We got two different opposites, but they complement each other and make a whole circle that can actually change and transform into each other. So the symbol really represents well what the Yin Yang theory is about. And we use the Yin Yang theory in TCM to be able to help us diagnose patients, to see how the physiological part of the body function, and of course, pathology and treatment. First of all, yin and yang are opposite, but it's a relative opposition, meaning that we cannot compare a table with an orange because they have nothing in common. But we can compare a cat to a dog. They're both animals. So a cat's a little more yin compared to a dog, which is more yang. So my dog is full of energy, he's full of fire, he wags his tail, he's so happy to see me, he loves running around, specifically during the day, but sleeps at night. My cat, on the other hand, is much more subdued, likes to be alone, is sleeping during the day, but is always up and going at night. So they are opposite. But you can take two dogs, for example, and you can have a dog that's much more young, lots of energy, loves to run around, never gets tired. You know, that kind of type of dogs, like maybe Australian Shepherds, full of energy. And then you can have a Bernese mountain dog, which would be much more subdued, really relaxed, and doesn't want to exercise much and is tired very quickly and is more yin and sleeps a lot more. So you could always change and compare two different things that are opposite, and those things are going to change. Now, even though those two things are going to change, let's look at more in the term of opposite. So fire is much more yang and water is much more yin. Those are two elements in nature that are opposite. Water will go downwards, right? When you pour water, water always goes down and never goes up. But fire always goes up, no matter what. If you take a candle and you put it upside down, fire, flame still goes up, right? So upward is yang, downward is yin. The night, which is more dark in nature and more cool or cold, is definitely more yin. The day, which has the sun, is more warm and bright, is definitely more yang. Usually, we say feminine energy is more yin. Women are more dark. What can you say? And men energy or masculine energy is more yang. So you can have a woman that has a lot of masculine energy and be very yang in nature, even though she's a woman. And you can also have a man that has feminine energy, is more sensitive kind of person, and is much more yin in nature, even though he's a man and he's yang. So can you see how opposite doesn't mean it's very completely totally yin or totally yang? There's always change within the yin and yang in the opposition. So let's look at a few more. I'm going to look at the picture, the blue on the right, and compare yin and yang for specifically disorders and when it comes to Chinese medicine and treating people. So chronic disorder versus acute. A chronic, it's considered more yin and an acute more yang. It does not mean that every chronic condition is yin or that every acute condition is yang. It's just when we compare chronic versus acute. Okay, that's the difference. The body or anything that's above is always, the body, which is always below compared to the head, which is above. So the body is below, it's closer to the earth, closer to the ground, it's more yin. The head, which is more up above or closer to the sky, the sun, the heavens, is more yang. So anything that's above is more yang, anything that's below is more yin. So if you compare your hands to your feet, your hands are much more yang, your feet are much more yin, because anything that's above or closer to the sun is more yang. Anything that's closer to the earth is more yin. Someone with a weak voice feels very deficient yin in nature compared to a loud voice, which is more yang and excess in nature. We talked about this before, an introvert versus an extrovert. Anatomy versus physiology. So anatomy is much more static. Physiology is much more energetic, right? So matter is yin, energy is yang. Medial, closer to the midline, is more yin in nature. So all meridians that are in the front of the body or medial, close to the midline, are much more yin in nature, while the meridians that are on the lateral or the side of the body and the back of the body are much more yang. Cold, I'm going to be more yin. Bluish, kind of hot-ish condition are going to be more yang. But again, it depends. We have to look at specific when we're comparing, right? So someone that is cold, feeling stuffy, achy, shivery is more yin in nature compared to someone who has the flu, who's feverish, sore throat, and feels like they want to drink a lot of cold drinks. They're more yang, okay? Someone that likes tea and hot drinks is more yin in nature. Someone that likes ice, cold drinks is more yang in nature. Someone that's deficient versus someone that's excess. A yin condition is more deficient, a yang condition is more excess. But again, not every yang condition is excess and not every yin condition is deficient. It's just comparing the two. Okay? So you got a bunch more on the other side there. We said dark and bright, right? Cold and hot. Heavy versus light. Wet or damp versus dry. Soft versus hard. So you can look at this, the feminine and masculine energy, and look at all of them and compare the yin and yang. So those are opposites. Now, the second thing about the yin and yang is that they can transform into each other, right? And it's a qualitative change because we need certain condition to be able to change. So the egg change into the chick, which becomes the chicken, and then the chicken lays the egg, and then the egg change into the chick, which becomes the chicken. And which one came first, the egg or the chicken? Don't ask me that question. But it's the same with night change into day and day change into night. And the cycle keeps repeating itself, right? So what does that mean? Well, it means that also in diseases and disorders, they can change into each other as well. So for example, someone wakes up in the morning with flu-like symptoms like feverish and a sore throat and feeling like, oh no, I think I'm coming down with the flu, which is more of a yang disorder in nature. But then the next day that person wakes up and now they're completely stuffy, they feel achy, shivery, they want warm tea, and they realize, oh, I thought I had the flu, but no, it's just a cold, and now I feel all tired. That's more yin in nature. So the fluish symptoms became a cold symptom, and that can go the other way around as well. So it's very often that a disorder can change, and it's the same thing with, we talked about introverted versus extroverted. For example, my husband was very introverted as a teenager, very shy, self-conscious, would not talk to people, very reserved. Now he's the life of the party. He's the extroverted guy that loves to be around people and make fun of everything and be the clown and be the center of attention. Completely different. And maybe When he becomes older, he'll go back into being a yin person. Maybe he'll become a grumpy old man and don't talk to anybody. I don't know. But that's the intertransformation of yin and yang that's constantly happening. It's never static. Things change all the time. We know change is constant. That's the yin yang theory right there. They are also or interdependent of each other. So they form a whole, meaning that together they are one and they cannot exist without the other, right? So the interdependence is that basically you look at winter cannot exist without summer. Night cannot exist without day. Expansion cannot exist without contraction. Does that make sense, right? They are opposite, but they are dependent of each other. The liver and the gallbladder, for example, work together, right? They work together and they can be separated. We can have our gallbladder removed, but then that affects everything in the digestive system, right? Forever. So the body cannot be separated from the mind. They are dependent of each other. Does that make sense? Good. Yin and yang also have a mutual consumption. And again, it's a quantitative change, meaning there's an adjustment continuously that has to happen for keeping the relative level of yin and yang balance. So the balance between rest and activity is one that has to happen in order for balance to stay constant. So for not yin to be too much or yang to be too much or not enough, there's going to be a balance between rest and activity. So when we exercise, this is very yang in nature. We move, we do a lot of exercise, we get hot, we get warm, we're sweating. This is very yang in nature. But we also need to balance this with yin time. Yin time means rest time. So sleep, relaxation, meditation, time to read a book, using our mind instead of our body, right? So we need to balance constantly the yin and the yang within our body. And that's what us as practitioners, we try to do with patients is to keep the yin and the yang as balanced as possible. That's the first thing we want to do, is to keep a homeostasis or a state of complete health. That's our goal. Now, we said earlier, nothing is totally yin and nothing is totally yang. So let's look at the extrovert person who likes to sing and be with people and party. In order to stay balanced, that person needs some downtime, like a massage or a meditation or reading a book, but they need yin time or downtime in order for the excess extroverted personality to be balanced. And otherwise, there's going to be an out of balance person and an unhealthy person who's going to eventually get sick or get a disorder. The introvert person usually loves their downtime. They like to read, to be by themselves, to create. Maybe they like to paint, they love to walk on by themselves or go for a run on their own. But often they also still need other people and social interaction. Otherwise, they're going to feel imbalanced and depressed and lonely. So they still need interaction. And a lot of time, teachers can be very much introverted, but they feel comfortable in a classroom environment because they are in control of the students. So that's the constant balance, because nothing can be totally yin or totally yang. And as we said earlier, there's always the seed of yin within yang and the seed of yang within yin. When it comes to the yin yang theory in Chinese medicine, the yin organ are the lung, heart, liver, spleen, kidney, and pericardium for specifically meridians, organs, and system. The opposite yang organ are the large intestine, the small intestine, the gallbladder, the stomach, the urinary bladder, and the sanjiao, in English called the triple burner, triple warmer, or triple heater. Those organ or system and meridians are going to be very important in the way we're going to diagnose people using yin and yang theory to help us figure out what's out of balance with each patient and how we're going to go about treatment. So let's look at the pathology in general. an excess of yang, so yang is more warm in nature or fire, right? So if we have an excess of yang within the body, we're going to have heat syndrome, or we're going to have symptoms that are going to have a lot of heat into them. An excess of yin, the yin is the cold part of everything opposite of yang, right? So if yang is heat, yin is cold. An excess of yin causes cold syndrome. So we're going to have a lot of cold symptoms. Now, a deficiency of yang. A deficiency of yang means that the fire, since yang is your fire, the fire in you is not there. You have lost your fire, or if you want to see it as a house, the heater in the house is broken. And if the heat in the house is broken, the house is going to be really cold, right? The heater is broken, no heat in the house, we're going to feel cold. Now, if there's a deficiency of yin, remember yin is the cold part of you. If you have no cooling system, the yin part of you is your cooling system, right? If your cooling system is broken, or your air conditioning in the house is broken, the house is going to be hot. It's going to feel hot. Does that make sense? So excess of yang, too much fire, causes you to feel hot. But the AC, the air conditioning within your body, or the deficiency of yin, also causes you to feel hot. Excess of yin, or too much cold in the body, is going to make you feel cold. But yang deficiency, or your heating system, is broken, then obviously you're going to feel cold also. So the idea is to look at those and say, well, how do I know if this person has excess yang or yin deficiency? Because they're both going to feel hot. How do I know if this person has yang deficiency or yin excess? Because they both going to feel cold. We need to figure out how those differences are happening in symptoms, because the treatment is going to be completely different. So homeostasis is the line where basically everything is in balance and the person is super duper rocking healthy. If we have excess yin, so above the line, too much cold in our body, then we're out of balance. If we have not enough fire in the body, a yang deficiency, we also feel cold. So we have to figure out, how do we know the difference? Well, yin excess, or excess cold in the body, always congeal. It creates blood stagnation, meaning that it becomes an ice cube. So blood circulation is impaired, and the blood circulation not being able to properly reach certain areas is going to cause pain symptoms. So excess yin is going to stop blood circulation and create pain. Now, compared to yang deficiency, there's no fire, no heat, because it is broken or it's not working. So our fire is down, our heat is down. We have no energy. Very, very fatigued. So we're going to compare those two and see the differences. Because after all, if you have excess yin, see above the homeostasis line, you want to get rid of the excess. That's your treatment. While if you have yang deficiency, then what you need to do is tonify, right? Boost it. You need to lift it back up to this homeostasis line. So the treatment is not the same. It's completely different. With yin excess, we are going to get rid of the excess and we're going to move the blood circulation. With the yang deficiency, we need to bring the heat back up. So let's look at the different symptoms. Yin excess versus yang deficiency, so we know which one it is. Usually, someone that has yin excess has tendency to have constipation, which feels much better after a bowel movement. While someone that's yang deficient is going to have tendency to have undigested food in the stool, loose stool or diarrhea with undigested food, and feel tired after the bowel movement. The person that's yin excess, very difficult in warming up. Yin excess, I'll give you a syndrome, frostbite. People that go and have frostbite on their fingers, they can't warm up. it takes forever. The fingers are so cold, so painful. There's no blood circulation. They turn blue and purple, right? Because there's no circulation. While someone that's yang deficient, if you bundle them up and keep them nice and cozy in a lot of clothes, they can eventually warm up. As I said earlier, yin excess people will have local pain, right? Very local pain. So you can have menstruation pain that happens during menstruation, that stabbing, strong pain, but it's relieved by warmth. So when we put a heating pad on the lower belly, then the pain gets better. Or we can have pain like sciatica pain on the glutes that is really painful, but when we put the heat on it, it feels much better. Okay, so a local pain. Bluish color for yin excess. So like I said, bluish fingers would be what represents a yin excess. With a yang deficiency, if we have some pain, it will be definitely milder. It won't be as strong, and it will be better on massage. So if someone gives you a nice rub, a nice massage, you feel much better. While usually the person that's yin excess does not like to be massaged because it hurts and it makes it very painful. Now, someone that's yin excess has usually a pale bluish face. It's kind of like a bluish tongue, bluish purple tongue, because no circulation. Compared to someone that has no fire and that's really fatigued and has no energy, their tongue is going to be pale and their face is going to be pale because they have no fire, no heat, so no color. It is also going to be puffy face and swollen tongue because if there is no fire, the water circulation in the body is not going to happen, and we're going to have some water retention happening, often edema and swelling. That's chronic, not acute. A yang deficiency is usually, not always, but usually something that is more chronic, while the yin excess can be chronic or acute more often. But again, nothing is totally one way or the other. This is just comparing those two. Good? All right, let's continue. Now let's talk about, again, that homeostasis line. And now we have yin deficiency, meaning not enough cooling system. So we are down, no cooling system, the AC is broken, so we feel hot. Or we have too much fire, too much heat, excess yang in our body, and we need to clear that up. While the yin deficiency, we need to nourish and boost it back up to the line, right? So it's a very different treatment. So the difference here that we can look at is a yin deficiency, which has no AC, no cooling system, is small heat symptoms, while the yang excess, or all this excess fire, is big heat symptom. What does that mean? When we compare the symptoms, the yin deficiency, because it's a deficiency, is going to have smaller symptoms, while the yang excess will have big symptoms. So let's see, what does that look like? Yang excess person and yin deficiency person love cold drinks because, of course, they are hot. They want cooling drinks, right? But the yang excess is going to gulp, 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 while the yin deficiency is going to sip, sip, sip. See the big symptoms, gulping, versus the small symptoms, sipping. The person that's yang excess, just like Simon Cowell here, will have a red face. So the whole face is red in general, while the yin deficiency only has red cheeks. Not the whole face, just red cheeks. Okay? The yang excess is very restless, cannot sit down, shaky leg, body that cannot stop, while the person that's yin deficiency is not necessarily moving, but they're very anxious inside, within their mind and their body. The yang excess feels hot all the time, all day, all the time, while the yin deficiency only feels hot in the evening and at night, because nighttime is yin time. Also, the yang excess person is going to sweat a lot all the time, while the yin deficiency person usually sweats at night. The yang excess is going to have a red tongue, and so is the yin deficiency because they both have heat. But the excess is going to have excess, meaning a yellow coat on the tongue, more on the tongue, right? An extra yellow coat. While the yin deficiency has nothing. It's deficient. So it has no coat and sometimes can be cracked. So that's how we compare the two because we are going to treat them differently. Can yang excess lead to yin deficiency? Absolutely. It can. Can you have both? Yes. We're just comparing and differentiating, but yes, you can have both. That's it for me today. I hope the Yin Yang Theory was made easy for you to grasp, review, and enjoy in this course. If you want more, go and check out the Facebook page. Daily fun post videos every day. I create them all myself, so go ahead and check them out. Check out, obviously, anything on the website for a lot of resources, more courses, videos, PDF, and lots of online continuing education as well for all the acupuncture professionals. So go to acuproacademy.com if you want more stuff. In the meantime, have a fantastic day and keep rocking it using TCM.